My sister slams her spoon against her champagne flute, like she's the one who paid for this whole room. And the sound cuts through the baby shower chatter so sharply that everyone turns at once. I'm mid-bite of a strawberry, standing in front of my own balloon arch, and I watch her climb onto a chair in heels, one hand on her belly like she's already 6 months, the other holding her phone up because of course she's recording. Okay, everyone, she sings, smiling way too wide. Before she opens gifts, can I just have 30 seconds? The air changes instantly. You can feel it. People do that polite pause where they're waiting for the host to step in, but my mum is already hustling toward her with this nervous smile plastered on like tape. "Talia, honey," Mum hisses under her breath. "Not now." My sister doesn't even look at her. She flicks her eyes across the room and locks on me, like she's taking aim. "I'm pregnant," she announces, loud and bright. And then, like a punchline, she points down at my cake table. "And I think we should celebrate both babies today." There's a half second where the room doesn't know what to do. Then someone squeals. One of Mum's friends, the type who cheers for anything, and a few people clap out of reflex. My cousin Kayla gasps and immediately lifts her phone higher. Someone else starts filming too. I hear my friend Marisol whisper, "No way," behind me. My husband, Adam, goes still beside the gift table, eyes flicking to me like he's waiting for me to break. My sister keeps smiling, milking the silence, and then she hops down off the chair and sweeps toward the cake like she owns it, arms open like she's going to hug me in front of everyone. She doesn't hug me. She grabs the cake knife. It's so fast it feels unreal. 1 second, the knife is sitting on the silver tray next to the custom topper. "Baby Patel," in gold script. Next second, she's holding it up like she's about to cut the first slice for herself. "We're doing a joint cake cut," she laughs. And she leans toward the cake, with her phone still recording, trying to frame my face, and the topper and her belly all in one shot. My decorator's blush pink buttercream masterpiece is right there. Perfect. And my sister's bracelet catches on the edge of the cake stand as she leans in. The whole thing wobbles. Someone shouts, "Oh," like it's happening in slow motion. But it's not slow at all. The cake stand tilts. The bottom tier slides. Frosting smears across the linen. The gold topper snaps sideways. And then the entire cake drops off the stand and hits the table with a wet, ugly thud that sends buttercream splattering onto the balloon strings and the acrylic "Oh baby" sign behind it. My sister freezes with the knife in her hand. For one stunned beat, she just stares at the mess she made, eyes wide like she can't believe gravity didn't respect her. Moment. Then she laughs. Not an embarrassed laugh. Not an "oh my God, I'm so sorry." She laughs like it's cute. "Oops," she squeals, turning her phone toward the wreckage. "Well, babies are messy, right?" She looks at me, and I see it. This tiny spark of satisfaction she tries to hide behind a grin. My throat tightens so hard I can't even speak at first. My hands are trembling. I can taste metal in my mouth. The room is buzzing, phones up, people whispering. My mum rushing forward saying, "It's fine. It's fine. We'll fix it." Like she can glue a cake back together with her panic. Adam steps toward the table, like he wants to grab the knife out of my sister's hand. But he checks himself, because we're surrounded by witnesses. And my sister loves witnesses. My phone isn't ringing yet, but it's already vibrating on the gift table, because people are tagging me in Instagram stories in real time. I can hear notification sounds popping like popcorn. The little live icon flashes on Kayla's screen. She's actually streaming this. My aunt is saying, "Oh, honey," to me, like I'm the one who did something wrong. My sister's boyfriend, some guy she's been with for 5 minutes, stands behind her with that blank smile men do when they're scared to get involved. And then my sister, still holding the knife, announces again, louder this time, because the attention is drifting back to the cake disaster instead of her. "I'm pregnant," she repeats, like nobody heard her the first time. "Can we not make this a big deal? It's supposed to be happy." My mum spins toward me, eyes pleading. "Sweetheart, don't," she starts, warning me before I've even opened my mouth. I stare at the ruined cake, at the toppled topper, at the smear of buttercream on the rental linen that I paid a deposit on. I stare at the balloon arch my friend stayed up until midnight building. I stare at the guess the baby's due date board with my handwriting on it. I feel the heat rise up my neck. Then I look straight at my sister, and I say, very clearly, "Put the knife down." The room goes quiet again, but this time it's not polite. It's tense. My sister's smile twitches. "Relax," she laughs, eyes darting to all the phones. "Don't be dramatic." Adam steps closer to me. I can feel his arm behind my back like a barrier. Marisol is already moving toward the cake table with napkins, face tight with anger. My sister lowers the knife, but she doesn't put it down. She keeps it in her hand like a prop. "I just wanted to share good news," she says, voice turning wounded, rehearsed. "But okay, I guess your shower is only about you." My vision goes sharp, like every little detail is suddenly too bright. I hear my dad's voice from across the room. He arrived late, of course, calling out, Hey, it's fine, everyone calm down." Like this is some silly misunderstanding and not sabotage. And right as I'm standing there trying not to cry in front of 30 people and a ring light, my phone screen lights up with a notification from our family group chat. "Mum, please don't do anything. People are watching." Immediately followed by my sister. She's mad because I'm pregnant too. And then, like gasoline, my cousin posts, "Someone got the whole thing on live." I can feel my heart pounding in my throat. I can feel the baby kick, tiny, real, inside me. And it's like my body is reminding me why I cannot let this slide. Not today. Not in this room. Not while my sister stands there with a knife and a smirk and calls me dramatic. So I do something I didn't plan to do. Something I didn't even know I had the nerve to do. I walk to the gift table, pick up the folder I keep in my tote, because pregnancy turns you into the kind of person who carries paperwork like a weapon. And I pull out the itemized receipts I printed the night before. Venue rental, decorator, cake, linen deposit, cleaning fee clause highlighted because I'm paranoid. I feel ridiculous for a second, like who brings receipts to their own baby shower, until I remember who I'm related to. I turn back to my sister, and I hold the papers out in front of everyone like I'm handing her a menu. "Since you wanted to celebrate both babies," I say, voice calm enough that it scares me, "you can help pay for the party you just ruined." My sister laughs like I'm kidding. "Stop," she says, eyes flashing. "You're embarrassing yourself." "I'm not," I say. "I'm embarrassing you." My mum makes a sound, half gasp, half whine. No, she whispers, like she's watching a car crash and can't look away. My sister's smile drops completely now. She glances around the room, realizes every phone is still pointed toward us, and she tries to pivot into victim mode so fast it's almost impressive. "Wow," she says loudly. You're charging your pregnant sister for a cake? That's actually insane. And that's when Marisol, bless her, steps forward and says, She didn't charge you for the cake. You charged her by dropping it. The room makes this collective little noise, like people finally exhaling after holding their breath. A couple of guests laugh, short, nervous, and someone mutters, Fair. My sister's boyfriend tries to touch her arm, like, calm down, and she yanks away. I didn't drop it on purpose, she snaps. I tilt my head, then apologize, I say. She opens her mouth, then closes it, because apologizing means admitting she did something wrong, and my sister would rather swallow glass. My phone buzzes again. An Instagram DM from someone I barely know. Is she serious? Another. I saw the live. Holy shit. My cousin Kayla's live comments are popping so fast I can see them from across the room. Little hearts. Little OMG. Little this is wild. My dad finally pushes through the crowd toward us, face red with anger that isn't directed at my sister. It's directed at me for not absorbing. Enough, he snaps. This is not the time. I look at him, and something in me just settles. You're right, I say. This isn't the time for her to hijack my baby shower. Dad's eyes flicker, like he wasn't expecting me to say it that plainly. Mum's face crumples like she's going to cry. My sister takes the moment and tries again. I was just sharing joy, she whines. She hates me. I inhale, slow. I can smell buttercream and perfume and tension. I can feel my hands steadying as my brain gets colder. Then I say, to my sister, loud enough for the phones to pick up, I'll send you the bill tonight. You can Venmo it, bank transfer it, whatever. If you don't, I'll take it out of the baby gifts you're not giving me anyway. My sister's eyes go feral. You, she starts, and then she looks around and realizes she's trapped in public. She drops her voice into a hiss. You're disgusting. I smile, small and mean. Put it on a cake, I whisper back. To understand why this feels unreal, you need to know what my sister was saying about me before today. Talia has been competing with me since we were kids, except she never competed like a normal person. She didn't try to get better at something. She tried to make sure I looked worse. If I got praise for a school project, she'd forget hers and cry until my parents comforted her. If I made a friend, she'd flirt with their brother or insult them behind my back until they pulled away. It was always this little undercurrent of sabotage wrapped in a giggle. My parents fed it without even realizing it. Or maybe they did. Talia was the loud one, the emotional one, the one who needed more. I was the easy one, the one who didn't make scenes. So I got less attention, less defense, less protection. When Talia crossed lines, Mum would say, You know how she is. Dad would say, Don't provoke her. Like her behavior was weather, and my job was to carry an umbrella. The worst part is that when I started trying to have a baby, my sister latched onto it like it was a storyline she could steal. I didn't tell everyone right away when Adam and I started trying. I'm not a private person by nature, but I learned to be. Fertility stuff turns your body into a schedule and your calendar into a disappointment. Month after month of negative tests and forced optimism and stupid little apps telling you to stay positive, like positivity, can change hormones. I finally told my mum because I needed my mum. At least I thought I did. And she told my sister because in my family, privacy is treated like disloyalty. Talia's first reaction was to laugh and say, Well, don't stress. You're not exactly maternal." She said it in front of my aunt at a barbecue like it was a joke. I remember the way my face burned and my mum didn't correct her. Just did that tight smile like, "Kids." I was 30. When I did get pregnant the first time, I told my parents cautiously, like I was holding a glass ornament. Mum cried. Dad hugged me. Talia squealed and immediately said, "Finally. I was scared you'd end up one of those sad dog women." She laughed. Nobody challenged her. I told myself, ignore it. Focus on the baby. Then I miscarried at 11 weeks. I didn't post about it. I didn't make a big announcement. I barely told anyone because I couldn't handle the pity. I told my parents. I told Adam's mum. And I told Marisol because she's my person. My sister found out anyway, because Mum can't keep anything to herself when she's anxious. 2 days after I got home from the hospital, I got a text from Talia. "Maybe it's for the best. Babies are hard, and you're sensitive." I stared at it for a long time, convinced I was misreading it, convinced she didn't mean it the way it sounded. Then, like a cherry on top, she sent, "Also, can you not be weird at my birthday? I don't want everyone walking on eggshells." I showed Mum. Mum said, "She doesn't know what to say." Dad said, "She's immature." Nobody made her apologize. Nobody made her feel consequences. So she learned she could do anything. When I got pregnant again this year, this pregnancy, the one that's currently making my ribcage feel like it's expanding, I didn't tell Talia until I was safely past the point where joy feels like a trap. I told my parents, and I made them promise not to tell anyone. Mum agreed, and then immediately asked, "Can I tell your sister?" Like it was her right. I said no. Mum pouted like I was punishing her. Talia found out anyway. She always does. She called me and screamed, "So you're just cutting me out? I'm your sister." Like she was the injured party, not the person who texted me, "Maybe it's for the best," after a miscarriage. When I tried to explain, calmly, she laughed and said, "God, you really milk everything." After that, she started making little digs every time she saw me. At a family dinner, she said, "Don't get too excited. Things happen." At my cousin's brunch, she said, "Are you sure it's not just bloating?" When I asked her to stop, she'd throw her hands up and tell everyone I was hormonal. So when Marisol offered to throw my baby shower, I hesitated. Not because I didn't want one, because I knew what my sister would do if she got a stage, Marisol insisted. "This baby deserves joy," she said, very simply, and she looked at me like she could see how scared I was of celebrating. "We can control the guest list." I tried. I really tried. I didn't invite Talia. Mum found out, and lost it. "You can't exclude your own sister," she cried. Dad called me selfish. Aunties chimed in. The family group chat turned into this whole moral trial, where Talia played wounded angel. "I've changed," she wrote. "I just want to support her." She added a crying emoji like punctuation. Adam said, "We don't owe her access." He was right. But I was tired of being the difficult one, tired of fighting every battle. So I caved on one condition: no speeches, no announcements, no surprises. Mum promised me. Dad promised me. Talia even texted, "Relax, it's your day," which should have been my warning because my sister only says things like that when she's planning the opposite. Fast forward to today. She shows up late in a white dress that's suspiciously tight around the waist. She makes a big show of hugging me and rubbing her stomach. Marisol notices immediately and gives me this look like, "Oh no." I whisper, "Don't," to Marisol, like I can stop it with a word. Then Talia disappears for 10 minutes, and I find out later she was in the bathroom filming a pregnancy reveal story, making sure her lipstick was perfect. When she walked back into the room, she headed straight for the chair and the spoon and the champagne flute like she'd rehearsed it. When she announced it, I didn't even have time to decide how I felt before my own event became about her. People swarmed her. They asked questions. They squealed. They ignored the gift table. The right advice for the baby station sat untouched. My balloon arch became her photo backdrop. And then she grabbed the knife and knocked the cake over, like the universe was making the metaphor literal. After the moment, after the phones, the hush, the receipts, I expected my parents to finally draw a line. I expected them to say, "Talia, you ruined this." I expected my mum to look at my face and realize she was watching her daughter get humiliated in public. Instead, my mum followed my sister into the hallway and comforted her. I know this because I walked to the bathroom a few minutes later, heart pounding, trying not to throw up from stress. And I heard Mum whispering, "She's just emotional, honey. She's pregnant. She'll calm down." Like pregnancy is a hall pass for cruelty. Like my pregnancy didn't matter, because I wasn't the one making noise. My dad cornered Adam near the drinks table and muttered, "Get your wife under control." Adam stared at him like he'd grown a second head and said, "Or you could get your daughter under control." Dad walked away furious, because my dad hates being told the truth by someone he can't intimidate. Meanwhile, my phone kept lighting up with clips. Someone had screen recorded Kayla's live. Someone posted it with captions. "Sister announces pregnancy at baby shower, then drops cake." Someone else added dramatic music, like it was a reality show. The comments were a nightmare, and a relief at the same time. People saw what happened. People weren't buying the hormonal narrative. Then the humiliating message from the past resurfaced, just like it always does when the internet gets involved. A girl I went to high school with DM'd me a screenshot she'd found in the comment thread, an old text from Tahlia that she'd sent to our cousin group chat after my miscarriage. I'd forgotten it existed outside my phone. "Leah's acting like she's the first person to ever lose a pregnancy. She needs to stop making it her personality." Seeing it again made my whole body go cold, not because it hurt, because it confirmed the pattern in black and white. The rest of the shower limped along after that. Marisol and a couple of my friends tried to salvage what they could. Someone scraped the top layer of cake into bowls. Someone wiped frosting off the signs. Someone retied balloon ribbons. People kept coming up to me whispering apologies, like I was the one who needed forgiveness. I opened gifts with a smile that felt stapled on while my sister sat in the corner sulking, phone in hand, posting vague stories about toxic people. When it finally ended, Marisol hugged me tight and said, "I'm so sorry." Her eyes were glossy. My aunt tried to tell me, "Family is complicated," like that's a magic spell that makes disrespect acceptable. Talia walked out without saying goodbye, brushing past the cake wreckage like it wasn't her problem. In the car ride home, my hands started shaking so hard Adam had to pull over. I cried in that ugly, silent way, where your chest hurts. Not because of the cake, not even because she stole the attention, because I realized my sister would keep doing this forever, unless I made it cost her something. So that night, I sent the bill. Not a dramatic, "pay me," an actual invoice, itemized, screenshot receipts attached. Cake, $420. Balloon arch materials, $185. Decor rental deposit forfeited due to staining, $300. Linen cleaning fee per venue contract, $250. Acrylic signage replacement, $90. Total, piece of $45. I sent it to Talia, Mum and Dad in one email. Subject line, reimbursement. Baby shower costs. Within 2 minutes, my phone rang. Mum sobbing. How could you do this to her? She's pregnant. I held the phone away from my ear for a second, looked at Adam, then put it back and said, So am I. Mum inhaled like she wanted to argue with biology. You're being petty. I'm being accurate, I said. She broke things I paid for. She doesn't get to ruin my day and then get comforted like a victim. Mum tried the next move. We'll pay it, she said quickly. Your father and I will pay it. Just don't send that to her. It's humiliating. I laughed. One short, sharp sound. It's humiliating that she did it, I said. Not that I noticed. Dad took the phone then, voice hard. Drop it, he ordered. You're making a family issue into money. I said, she made it money when she ruined what $245 worth of stuff. He snapped. It was an accident. I replied. Then she can apologize and pay for the accident like an adult. Silence. Then Dad's voice went colder. If you do this, don't expect support later. There it was. The threat. The leash. My stomach clenched, but I surprised myself by saying, Okay. Dad sputtered. Okay? Yes, I said. Okay. I'm not bargaining for basic respect anymore. He hung up on me. Talia didn't respond that night. She posted stories instead. Black screen, white text, vague quotes about jealousy. Mum liked them. I saw it. It made me feel sick, but not surprised. The next morning, I woke up to a Venmo notification. $245. From Talia. Note. Hope you're happy. I stared at it for a full minute, waiting for the relief to hit. It didn't. What hit instead was this dull understanding. She paid because she didn't want the invoice to get out. She paid because she knew receipts in writing are dangerous. An hour later, my mum texted me like nothing happened. Proud of you for standing up for yourself. Love you. Like she didn't cry and call me petty 12 hours earlier. Like she didn't comfort Talia in the hallway. That was the gut punch twist for me. Not that my sister did what she did. I expected that. It was how quickly my parents tried to rewrite it once there were consequences. Once money moved. Once embarrassment risked splashing back onto them. So I made the final boundary. Something they couldn't smooth over. I texted the family group chat. Talia paid the invoice. Don't ever put me in a position like that again. She's not invited to anything related to this baby. No hospital, no visits, no surprise announcements. If you try to sneak her in, I will leave. Typing bubbles exploded immediately. Mum, you can't do that. Dad, you're overreacting. Talia, LOL, you're obsessed with me. Aunties, be the bigger person. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I didn't spiral. I just did one thing. I muted the chat. Then I opened my phone settings and turned off share focus status with my family contacts, because they don't deserve to know when I'm resting. My mum called 3 times. I declined 3 times. Then Adam and I sat on the couch, and he asked softly, Are you okay? I put my hand on my belly and felt the baby move again, small and stubborn, and I said, I will be. Because the quiet victory isn't that she paid. It's that the next time my sister tries to climb onto a chair with a spoon and a smile, there won't be an audience. There won't even be a door open for her to walk through.